Good afternoon and welcome back to another ironic introduction to another video. I have my last war with MTP. This video will go up on a little bit of a delay because I haven't announced my change to Alliance yet, but I'll post it simultaneously with my I'm joining a new Alliance video. First up, I have Warlock versus this Void. This is just because of like limitation on who I had for roster and stuff, because we're skipping a section, but I wanted to take some boss fights if possible. So here, the mistake I made was not going straight for a double combo, because now I'm kind of like SOL, stalling out this SP1. I'm able to take that in. I am taking a bunch of damage from the node, unfortunately. My goal here is to get this Void down as fast as possible while maintaining as much of a distance as possible, because the node itself is just causing me to degen tons of health, which is something I knew would happen here. So first I'm going to shrug off the Void debuff, knock him back, shrug off that debuff, and then drop my SP3 for a little bit of healing, keep the power down on the Void as well, make him easier to deal with. But this is essentially just a fight of attrition, nothing crazy in difficulty or gameplay, just knowing that, you know, staying close to him is going to cost me my health, and the less I have to do that, the better. It's an annoying fight. This is a really good attrition fight. You shouldn't really expect to get a kill with the Void placement here, but it's definitely good for taxing the other alliance, and you never know. That sometimes causes kills later down the line if they're, you know, gonna save. Next up, we have an invisible woman here, whom I'm going to take with Warlock as well. He does have access to that fairly long bleed and relatively potent bleed on his heavy. Nothing crazy here besides like the invisible woman mechanics, maybe some big block damage if I make mistakes and let her get a bunch of debuffs on me. I think I'm going to take a hit somewhere here. Yep, here. I just thought I hit the parry timer, and then I think here again I think I hit the parry timer and I just didn't. It completely threw me off. But now I'm finally able to like get back in. It was an unfortunate hit to take, but that's okay. I'll just recover. Hate it when that happens. Just weird. Like I said, I thought I hit it there. I don't know what happened. I think I went to Dex and was just too slow. Invisible Woman is someone where sometimes I have issues and sometimes I don't. I don't know. This is just one of those days where I guess I was having issues. I'm going to be frank. It's hard to take this war seriously. When you know you're already skipping a section and you're already just going for the boss clear, it is significantly harder to take the fight like super seriously. I also knew I didn't need Warlock like a lot past this, so I'm not too worried. Gonna go ahead, drop my L3, get a little bit of my health back at least, but honestly, even if he ends up dying, I don't plan on healing or reviving, so it's not that big of a deal from here. Luckily, this Invisible One player I think is running willpower, so she's just taking like perma degen damage, super free fight with Warlock. And then I'm gonna come back and actually take this Tiger later. I thought about taking it now with the strike back link up. I thought better of it. I brought Red Guardian for this Tigra. I was secretly hoping she'd be taken down when I logged off. I come back, I think like 3 hours later, 2.5 hours later, and I'm going to jump in with Red Guardian. Nice thing about Red Guardian is I don't have to worry about buffs, really, but I do have to be careful of that power alternator, not a big deal, but I really like him versus Tigra because he has the ability to block unblockable attacks, including her specials, which do go unblockable. So in a really like pinch situation where like I'm unable to dex or I'm too slow, I'm able to block it, or maybe she gets me up against the wall. You can see here that I was too slow to get the dex, but I just held block knowing that I was safe, and then backed off from there. Was able to punish her, easy clap. Yeah, there's probably better. Torch is definitely just better for Tiger because he just blows her up, but it's nothing crazy. I didn't bring Sabretooth synergy, so this cord is going to be major pain, but that's okay. I have Red Guardian synergy. It's going to help a little bit, just a little bit, but if I can avoid bringing Sabretooth synergy, it allows me to have Red Guardian, and having Red Guardian gives me access to clearing more fights. So here, I get the parry, he immediately shrugs, no big deal. The second one does not, so I'm going to lock in my spores, which is good. I'm able to stay over 10. I wasn't ready for that special one, so I didn't like capitalize on it with my mediums. I wasn't paying attention to that. I was expecting him to come in. I got super unlucky with that degen shrug. This is probably a high sig cord now that I think about it, but I didn't look. I really should have. Here I'm going in for 4-hit combos. Going to tap into his block because I want him to let me get my parry and lock in my spores. Here, I don't know, I just let go of block, I guess. unfortunate. I'm going to dex the last part of this because I already triggered Indestructible. Already know I need to go in for a block. The shrug there threw me off. Like I said, not having Sabretooth synergy makes this fight a lot more of a pain in the A because you're worrying about the shrug a lot more often. So right now what I'm trying to do is knock his shield down. You can counter his heavy with Omega Red's heavy. I don't know why I missed. Just minor spacing issue, so I did take some damage there unnecessarily, but that's okay. Korg hits like a twig, so I am able to push in, get my heavy degen in, launch my SP3, and heal back up a little bit. It's just kind of an unfortunate amount of damage I took there. But you can counter his heavy with your heavy with Omega Red, so it was really weird that that missed. Just like I said, minor spacing detail. Move in, use that a little bit of healing and the fact that his rock shield is down to get as high of a degen back up as I can. Goal being, of course, to get to 10. I don't punish this SP1 because I didn't want to give him any bar. I knew my degen was falling off. I wanted to be able to relock that in nice and secure. I'm going to come in, drop the SP1. I thought that would kill. I just miscalculated the damage ever so slightly, so I'm going to do it again, but this time I don't get the heal. Not the worst Korg takedown, not the best. I didn't have Sabretooth, so I would say, considering that I didn't have that, the fact that I got him down at all was really, really good. I come back later, Killmonger is at half, so I'm going to go in with Omega Red, which is not ideal for me because I actually needed him for one more fight for this path. But essentially here, what I'm going to do is try to get him down as fast as possible. And, you know, so I don't have to deal with kinetic transference. I'm trying to make it so that my only parries are the ones where I'm landing my Spore degen count. From here, I can't even let him hit into a block. So even if it triggers Indestructible, that is A-okay. Now I'm on the corner. And this is just a matter of parry stalling. I take the SP1 to the face here. That's just because corner, bad spacing on my part. From here, it's just a matter of trying to time my parry to push him up to an SP2, dexing the SP2 as much as possible, and then parrying on the wall, dexing the heavy if I have to, and making sure that I get in as much space as possible. I don't think I would have been able to get this kill on Killmonger if he had 100% health with Omega Red. It's really not ideal for me. But I do actually get it here. You can see here I dex that last part of the SP1. I'm going to parry here, parry here. I'm actually going to hit into him because I know that if I do so, he is going to go like lose the unstoppable, so I can get that punish. Drops the SP2. I'm able to get up along the wall, no blocks into it. Again, I do the same thing here. Actually, it doesn't work to my advantage there. I just mistimed it ever so slightly, but that's okay. He doesn't punish. I'm going to get like block, reparry, block, reparry. Here I'm going to use my SP3 to keep him from both hitting an SP3 but also to kill. So I would have been able to go for a little bit longer. I just don't know how much longer. This was a crazy stressful fight. I hate doing this fight with Omega Red. Thankfully he lived. Could be worse, could be better. So. Next up, I move into the second part of path 4. Crazy leg. There we go. The first fight is a stealth suit Spider-Man, who I'm going to take with Omega Red. The stealth suit should be mostly an easy clap as long as I make sure I watch out for those debuffs, particularly the ones on the evade. Don't want to let him stack those at all. Fortunately, because no Sabretooth synergy, this is going way slower than I thought. He has that hit where he can't be parried, so I have to make sure I watch out for the stun. I thought I got it, and I didn't. That was unfortunate. But so I'm having a little bit of trouble, and again, no Sabretooth synergy means this is a super slow fight. I'm going to punish that SB1, just make sure that I trigger off that evade, and from here it's just a matter of maybe trying to get some spores on, maybe building up to an SB2 if I absolutely have to. Not a hard fight. Honestly, I don't think Stealth Suit is a good matchup here. Even with the mistakes I made, I don't feel like I was ever near threat of death. Here, what I'm trying to do is just not let him get to an SP2 launch. I'm just trying to like force block, etc., so I can finish him off. I knew he was one combo out. Maybe two combos or an SP3 or something, but I knew I could finish him with the next one. Next up is Havok. Actually, I haven't really seen Havok here pretty much like all season, and the few times I have, I honestly don't remember who I used, but it wasn't Warlock. So in hindsight, I should have not started this off the way I did, because Havok's feedback charges will count towards the unblockable. Now, I don't know if like previously I just ignored that and then just punished his SP1, but I start off with a parry heavy here because I want to immediately punish the fact that this guy is running willpower. So I want to keep him just like perma-bled once I get the infection on, to just have him permanently degenning and stuff. So I dropped the bleed, and then I realized, like, oh crap, I've made a mistake, because that's going to give me another feedback. So now I have to play crazy comfortable, making sure I keep him from building up charges and making sure that I avoid the crumbling armor, which I don't. You can see here I'm ending up taking a hit. I go for the intercept and I get punished. So that was my mistake. I wouldn't have been in threat from crumbling armor if I hadn't dropped that heavy. Mistakes are made. Mistakes are made. I'm going to jump in here with Red Guardian, because he has the ability to block unblockable attacks. Because of the feedback plus my double, attritions, I'm going to immediately have an unblockable Havok on my hands. Basically just use the stun from breaking the ablative shield to get my combo in, punish and hit accordingly, bait SP1s if I have to, play the whole fight as if he's unblockable. Thankfully, he's running attritions as well. Kills himself. But worst case scenario, I would have had to bait out an SP1 or two, and then again use the next ablative shield to finish. Next up we have a Magneto. I ended up taking a lot of fights this war. Next up we have a Magneto Red. It's Ebb and Flow Intercept, Redoubled Determination. I'm going to jump in with Red Guardian. Not the world's worst answer here, just also not the world's greatest. So gonna go ahead, and I think my goal was to get to an SP2 for a bigger damage rotation, but I think I ended up using an SP1 out of force. So I get a nice intercept there, so I can have a nice damage phase. Don't know what happened there. Just stood there. I really don't. I was half asleep when I did this, which is my fault, but it's just embarrassing more than anything. So here I'm going to bait out the SP1. I'm looking for an intercept, trying to find a good window. He does dash in the way I want him to. Get my SP2 for the big damage rotation, and it doesn't do quite as much as I wanted it to, but I'm able to do a double medium 5-hit combo, and I was planning on launching my L1 to finish and take him down. I didn't want him to launch an L2 because I didn't want to take the block damage, and I don't want to risk taking it to the face. Based on chat, we had someone who was clearing all 3 of the left minis, Chikayanan there. Props to him. Said Doom was fine. I knew we had other answers for Void, so I'm going to move into this thing now. Maybe if I healed Omega Red would have done good here. I know other people use Omega Red. And honestly, in an ideal situation, I would turn parry off so that I don't have to worry about the stun. But we don't care about this war. So I'm just going to force block start, drop my heavies, even though he's indestructible. I'm just trying to keep the spores that I have on him. So from a result, I'm going to punish the combo. Here I'm looking for another opening to re-land my spores. I'm able to get it and actually get the damage here, and you can see that the degen from that is huge. I'm going to do a 3-hit, push him to the 15. Thankfully, he's super aggressive. And again, even though he's got the indestructible, I'll lock my spores in. It's about keeping them as high as possible, and then juggling his rock stacks as much as possible as well. So here, I'm going to take this one into the face so that I can relock my spores. Unfortunately, no Sabretooth synergy means that I dropped under 10 super fast. And here, I just lost count of the spores somewhere along the way. I thought that maybe he wouldn't play aggressive and I would be able to punish. I do SP2 into him here, knowing that it's going to be punished, but I was on the wall and didn't think I had much of a choice. Not the greatest showing with Omega Red, but also not bad. I'm going to jump in with Red Guardian. I get next to nothing here. I'm gonna be completely honest. I mean, I'm already really low, but I think it's actually a really good fight for me from Red Guardian. It's much harder when you can't stun the opponent, and when you don't get to an SP1, so you don't have the slow. So it's just raw fighting. So again, relying on that perfect block to come in through, as well as punishing the heavies. I do agree, Parzival, if Red Guardian's trauma was longer, it would be better. If you're wondering why I'm talking to Parzival, it's because I'm streaming to Twitch right now while I record this. So here 15, I'm going to back off and wait. I guess maybe I could have blocked that, but I don't know how the interaction goes with breaking the ablative shield and blocking a special that's unblockable on this node. I think it stuns you, so I'd rather not risk it. As I get to lower health, I have to start working about 1, not triggering stubborn nodes so I can actually get damage in, and 2, dying to block damage, because things block damage here is insane. So here, I'm at 3%, and this is where I feel like I really had my best turnaround here. I'm going to hit into his block, back off, bait the SP2, and then I'm going to go in for a 4-hit combo, intercept to get another rotation, back off. Dex will dodge this special one, get another 1 hit in, and then 5-hit intercept, and then back off and Dex this special as well. Honestly, if I hadn't triggered on Indestructible there, I might have been able to get the finish there. It was pretty good. Pretty good. That said, that is the whole war. We ended up in P4, rank like 351 or something. And honestly, I'm proud of my last war with MTP. It has been an amazing season with them. Amazing several seasons and an awesome period of being an officer, but I am ready for competitive wars, and I really look forward to joining up and moving forward into, you know, hopefully some stressful but also very exciting wars and doing more of these war videos. As always, hope you enjoyed. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.